If you've been watching my YouTube shorts or my Instagram reels, you've seen my 30-minute birthday cake challenges, and today I'm going to break one of them down for you. It's my Swiss roll cake, and you guys, it starts off with a really simple whipped chocolate frosting. It's something I've made before on this channel. It's one of my favorites, and it's just cream cheese and powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Now, you guys, the quantities will be down in the description box below, but I'll just add enough of the heavy whipping cream so that it doesn't get too hard and thick, so maybe like a quarter cup, and then once it comes together, then I'll add the rest of the whipping cream and vanilla extract, and I'll just beat that until it is nice and light and fluffy. And one of the ways you can check is by pulling out your beater. You should see stiff peaks. You can also tilt your bowl, and that really shouldn't move. Okay, so now I'm taking my Little Debbie Swiss rolls. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're probably a lot healthier than I am. But anyway, you're going to unwrap these and get ready to go. I've transferred my chocolate whipped frosting into a piping bag, and that's what we'll be using to get started. You're also going to need a 6-inch cake round, and you're going to need 2 of them. So I start with one of those 6-inch cake rounds underneath, and I'm just piping the frosting and sticking the cake rolls together. It's basically glue, and I'm just building out from there. And there's really no rhyme or reason. These are not going to fit together perfectly. You're just trying your best to get them to fit as tightly as possible, and I'll just be squeezing as I go. Now, you guys, some of that chocolate coating on the outside can start to fall off, and just put more frosting, keep pushing it together. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you guys, when you're eating this, it is so yummy with that chocolate coating because it adds such a nice texture to the cake. And the whipped frosting also pairs super well because it's nice and light and fluffy, and the Swiss rolls are pretty heavy on their own, so it all works together super beautifully. So I'm just building out, and you guys can see that I really do get kind of aggressive with this, smushing it together. You want it, obviously you don't want it smashed, but you do want it pretty good and stuck together. And I'll continue working out till I am within the edges of that 6-inch cake board underneath, and I'll put another 6-inch cake board on top. And those cake boards just provide a guide. With one on top and one on the bottom, you're actually able to get the sides smooth, which is saying a lot when you look at how bumpy those cake rolls are. We really do need a guide there. And when you're resting, you guys can see I use my rubber spatula to get the big portions on, but then I'm using that offset spatula to kind of scrape and smooth. And that offset spatula resting on those 2 cake rounds really does provide a nice guide for creating a smooth side. It is really important that you keep the Swiss rolls within those 6-inch boards. I had a couple poking out, and if I could go back, I would have just left them off. All right, so I peel off the cake board once it's smooth to my liking, and then pop some more frosting on top, and then I'm gonna smooth that off. And again, just using my offset spatula. Once that is to my liking, I will pop this in the fridge. Now, you guys, when I was doing my 30-minute challenge on my reels and my shorts, I did not have much time to leave it in the fridge, but I would leave it longer if I could. I then make a quick chocolate ganache, which is just hot, heavy whipping cream and chocolate chips. I let that set for a minute and then give it a stir. Again, I'll put it all down below in the description box. Once it comes together, and at first it might not seem like it's going to, but it will smooth out. If you see any lumps, you can throw it back in the microwave for another 10 to 15 seconds. I just put this in a piping bag with no tip or anything like that, and I transferred my chilled cake to where I was going to serve it. And again, I was in a hurry. I did this all in 30 minutes, but you could totally do this over a longer period and probably have a lot more success, but I still think it turned out okay. Now, you guys, the ganache recipe I'm going to put in the description is a little bit different than a one I made. Again, I was on a time crunch, and I ended up throwing the ratios off because I didn't measure anything. So anyway, I will put one that will actually be nice and drippy. This one is like too clumpy, too thick, basically. So yeah, I will put the one with the correct proportions below, not the one that I was using when I was hurrying and not measuring anything, obviously. So I work my way all the way around the cake sides, and once I've done that, then I'm just going to come and put some more on top. You want to be careful because it'll start flowing off the sides. You don't need too much. I then come in with my offset spatula, just smooth it out over the top, and that should go back in the fridge. Again, I was on a time crunch, so it went in the freezer for like 30 seconds, literally. But you'll put it in the fridge for at least 10 minutes. I'm then coming in with some of that frosting, same piping bag, everything, and piping those stars on top, and I filled the center with raspberries. I think the raspberries are such a nice compliment. Could be a very heavy, very sweet cake, but I think the raspberries really lighten it up nicely. And you guys, when you cut into it, it has such a neat design inside with those Swiss rolls facing upward. It's kind of unexpected, and look at it, there it is. Ready for another quick birthday cake idea? Check out this strawberry vanilla cake next.